Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Elucent. I'm a music producer and a songwriter. And today we're going to be listening to my top 10 songs of the year in reverse order. I'm going to be revealing them to you as we go. So I hope you're in for a good time. Let's go. So I thought, like, a new kind of vibe for end of year content. I thought I would go through my top 10 songs of the year, listen to them back with you guys in reverse order, and that way I'm kind of reacting to them again, and you'll kind of get my updated thoughts and feelings on each of these songs, and I'll be talking about why I've chosen them. It's taken me a while to choose my top 10. I've been thinking about it throughout the year, and different songs have kind of come in and out, but these are the ones that have stuck with me for whatever reason and have made the biggest mark on me. Yeah, I hope you stick all the way through. I hope you're excited to find out who's going to be on there. I'm not going to tell you until it comes, and then you get the excitement of being like, oh my god, it's there. I've got more end of year content coming next week. I'm going to be doing a tier list for the best albums of 2022. Which could be contentious. And if you want to check all that content out early, then you can do by going over to Patreon and supporting me there. But if you're new to the video, this is your first thing for me, welcome, hi. Make sure to subscribe for all this kind of content, all of my reactions and everything, all from the perspective of somebody who loves to make music. So make sure to check out all those videos and make sure to check out my music too. This is a multifaceted channel. So, obviously, when it comes to choosing your favourite songs in the year, there's quite a lot of subjectivity. I obviously haven't heard every single song this year, and obviously I like what I like. But there's like different ways in which I'm kind of thinking about how these are the best songs. So ones that have stuck with me personally, that have resonated with me personally, ones that have resonated with people, caused a stir, had a moment, but also kind of my objective, like looking at how the song is constructed. So there's three kind of ways in which I'm ranking these songs, and the ones right at the top are the ones that combine all of these things. So yes, of course, I would love to hear what your top 10 songs of the year are. Make sure to go down to the comments and let me know why you agree or disagree with my choices too. This channel is all about music discovery, so if there's other stuff that you think is better, then I'd love to hear it. So let's do this. In 10th place, let's go. Do you know what it is yet? I could put an egg on you. Harry Styles' obsession with food continues in this song. First song of this album and the best one. Easy. This song just like captures something so exciting. Horns that are so joyous. You don't really get these kind of big horns in pop music at the moment, and it was very surprising, especially considering like As It Was much more subdued, you know, and the dynamics there, so good. Fried rice on rice, scoopa doopa doop dub da. Banana, banana, now. If the stars were edible. Thing is with this song is that the lyric isn't like that deep, but the lyrics are super fun, and it is really nice to have a song that's having a bit of a giggle, you know. You know I love you, babe. Da na 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 na. So fab. Dude, I kind of wish the rest of the album did follow the same kind of sonic trajectory. It was so good. I think the thing is, As It Was fun and obviously very successful, and I did enjoy that song, but like there's just something about Music for a Sushi Restaurant that is just up there with some of Harry's best songs. It's so jovial. He goes back to his whole like being obsessed with food. He's definitely got a bit of a food fetish, I think. It just doesn't take itself too seriously and just has loads of fun with it, and I love it for that. I think the horns are really bright, really beautiful, and they poke out among other pop songs because you don't hear that kind of stuff very often. And musically it's interesting too, you know, kind of has like some quite kind of minory clashy moments in a song that is very kind of bright and fun, which gives it such like an extra level of depth as well. And I haven't seen the music video, but I did see the screenshot of him as a squid, and it's terrifying. So therefore it's a moment, isn't it? Cool, okay. In 9th place for my top 10 songs of the year, we have this song. Are you ready? Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This song came out on the 3rd December 2021, but the album came out in 2022. And it wasn't early enough to make it into my songs of the year last year, so it's going here. And landed in a soft and warm embrace. That is why we live like heathens. See, the thing is, this album came out right at the beginning of the year, but I was keen to go back and make sure I included it because there were some beautiful songs on this album, and this one is my favourite one. It's the drama. It's the drama. We're guided by the lust. Oh, and seeing her live doing this, amazing. The broken and enslaved. And I love how like this song, production-wise and dynamics-wise, really is like foreboding and really tension-building, and doesn't really give you the full breadth and scope of it until you get right towards the end. Everything you touch will. So good. Oh god, you have to go back and watch my reaction to the song because this bit just completely threw me. Only if you give yourself to her. It's so good. And it's just like the whole song's been building towards this moment, and it's so dark. It's like a chase, isn't it? It's a magical song, this. I also love how Aurora manages to have these huge, like, cinematic, massive songs, and yet her voice is so delicate over the top. Beautiful song. Oh, God, that's such a good song. That's Heathens by Aurora, song number 9. Such a beautiful song. Such an incredibly well-crafted song. It keeps you on tenterhooks the whole time until that middle 8 where you think it's over, and then it just goes... and you're in the chase, and then it has a huge final chorus. It's just so satisfyingly and well crafted, you know, and it stuck with me emotionally. There's something really ethereal about the lyrics and the way that the song seems to ponder kind of humanity, and the way it's produced, the way it's made matches up to that kind of big kind of thought, you know. Yeah, it's fabulous. Right, song number 8. Let's go. How long this one was. If you can't tell who it is yet, there's something so beautiful about this song, and so kind of tribal, and so it just does feel like a procession, you know. Bjork is a new artist for me to discover this year, and it's been wonderful. I think this is the song that really just got to me, you know. I just adore how she wrote a song after her mother's passing to kind of celebrate her life. Oh, my ancestors. It's just so good, isn't it? It's also a very complex song about her kind of like questioning the way in which they approached her end of life and stuff too. Yeah. They found themselves kind of thinking, we'll actually do anything to keep you around a bit longer, you know. There's so many kind of different complex layers to this song, as well as it being this like eulogy, you know. The ticking is so powerful in this song. Don't tell that story in my mouth. It's so beautiful, this song, and it's so far away from the kind of music I usually listen to. It's wonderful, yeah. Just it, and then it didn't. You see, with just to slowly take away those instruments one at a time, to leave just her voice when she said, you know, the machine was working, and then it didn't work. Very, very, very powerful. My ancestress. It gets quite overwhelming, I think, in the emotion. She really does just kind of throw it all out there as if the emotion is just like tumbling, uncontrollable. Translucent skin. Some of these like details are really like powerful, you know, in the way she uses them, you know. And it's so complex. It's some people, if they were to like write a song that was like a eulogy, well, me included, it might go either like specifically a very sad song, or specifically, you know, a healing song where you're like coming from it. But this song goes through so many different ways, and it kind of has not only that feeling of loss, but actually kind of a jovial sense of celebration at points, and a sense of emptiness, and a sense of desperation, but ultimately a sense of celebration, I think, and releasing the emotion. Bjork stuff isn't an easy listen, but when you take a moment to really listen to it, it can be incredibly powerful and incredibly moving. And this is, yeah, that's my favourite of her songs from the new album. I think it's wonderful. Let's go on to the next one. This is probably going to be something very different. I've got a very broad range of songs today, but I love it. Okay, so this is my 7th best song of the year. Let's go. This album. Where is it? There. Once upon a time, pleasing the world. Yeah, this whole album was extremely special to me this year. And this song, when I first heard it, I was like, this is good. But when I heard it in context of the whole album, just got chills just talking about it. I realised how perfect it is. I don't wanna do this without you. Void that you left me with my phantom. Ugh, it's just so beautiful at summing up this whole album, which is all about reclaiming her inner child and going through therapy in order to find happiness again. And after like every single song in this album kind of explores all these different avenues, a lot of darkness, to have this big catharsis is just so perfect and so beautifully written. Back to life. I don't wanna do this if you're just a ghost in the night. God, the melody is beautiful. I need you close. How do you hold a ghost? And then I saw her perform it live. She's insane. She's one of the best artists around at the moment. It's just so beautifully done, this song. Then it just kind of has another level here as well. It just like, there's something about a finale that really just sits in its finality. This is like the moment, and she sits in it for this last section of the song just to really just bring it all home. So many songs are so fleeting, but there's something so special about a song that knows its importance and waits until it knows its audience is there and feels that, you know? I've listened to that album so much that the next song always gets stuck in my head whenever I hear one song. Yep, that was Rina Sawayama's Phantom. Just such a special song. There are a number of songs on that album that could have been this top 10 list, and you know, we might not have heard all from Rina yet, but like for that one is beat a lot of the other songs on the album just because of the way it brings this sense of finality and solidifies this idea of learning and this idea of getting better. You know, it just feels so special in its position as part of the album. And that's why it had to be in my top 10. I can really relate to its message too, and the message of the whole album, to be honest. I don't want to do this without you. Righty-ho then, let's go on to the next one. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I keep on going to reload. This is song number 6, my 6th best song of the year. This one has a special thing for me. I'll explain about it in a sec. Still get chills sometimes when I listen to this. If you want following the channel, I reacted to this song as part of the album. And this bloke, Matty Healy, not only did he watch my reaction, he shared my reaction to this song on his Instagram with the comment saying, "I'm crying watching this." And it felt extremely validating. One of the artists who had the biggest inspiration to me to not only see the emotions I'm putting out there, but to connect with me like that. It was so special. It validates what I'm doing, you know? And it's such a beautiful song. Yeah. I don't need the crowds and the cheers. Just tell me you love me. That's all that I need to hear. Sometimes artists just come up with a song and it feels quite magical in the way that it's just almost so classic.
Hear what you letter. No use at all. Just tell me what I wanna hear.
And this just, God, the kind of slightly, it's really surprising, isn't it? And then just one more bit of Billy Joel.
I need to hear.
One more. It's just wonderful. That song is so wonderful. It's like an instant standard. Feels like a classic the first time you hear it and the 10th time you've heard it. And the way he like is so romantic and so earnest about the way that he loves this person. I think, and also like knowing the history of the 1970s. Oh, this is all I need to hear by the 1975. I think knowing the history of, you know, the 1975 and how much sarcasm comes out of the 1975, like, it caught me quite off guard to have a song like that is 100% in on the cringe. You know, it's, yeah, wonderful. And to know that what I'm doing on this channel is really connecting with people, and for it to come through from somebody who I admire, you know, and who has inspired me so many times is astonishing and still blows my mind like 2 months later. I've heard all these songs before, guys, and yet I'm still crying. Okay, let's go on to the next one. This is one I discovered a bit later in the year. A few things happened earlier in the year that were quite upsetting for me, and it meant that I didn't listen to this album for a while, and literally until last week, actually. And I'm glad I finally did get over my kind of trauma of the incident, well, I'm not going to go into, but yes, one of the songs really stuck out for me, and here it is. My 5th best song of the year, I think. Are we on 5?
I feel like falling in love.
It's got everything in it. It's just the absolute groove of the year. And for me, this song takes the concept of what Beyonce's trying to do, this kind of dance concept, and really pulls the most Beyonce-ness into it. The perfect balance of past Beyonce and future Beyonce. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And those vocals are sick. Oh, this melody. Every single section of this song just makes you want to groove even more, and the melody just gets better and better. It's like, oh my god, how does it keep going? Like, oh, yeah. It's just such a vibe, this song. More to something up. No self-control. There's so much I want to say about this album, and I'm going to say it in my next video about when I do my tier list of all the albums of the year. I'm excited to chat about it finally. Such immaculately made. Yeah, it's fabulous.
Get up, get up.
And we're going again. Immaculately made, that song. Produced within an inch of its life, but doesn't feel that way. It's simple, but so complex. It pulls everything together. It has a sick groove. I know I sound very white when I say that. Yeah, really just makes you want to move, makes you want to dance, makes you want to just like get in your headspace and just live it. Like, for me, brings together these like past Beyonce, kind of slightly more pop side, and vocal stylings of her earlier kind of career, but with the modern kind of conceptual thing that she's doing. So like, this was really the standout for me from Beyonce this year, and I had to include it in my top 10 songs of the year. It wouldn't be right if I didn't include Beyonce this year, because she has had such a big impact. Yeah, love that song, such a vibe. Yes. We gon' fuck up the night. Let's go on to the next song. So this one, I got to see them perform it live, which was quite exciting. Nobody else on the British tour did, because she broke her foot. And if you've seen the news, then you'll know who I'm talking about. But we were lucky enough to see the show where she broke her foot. So I hope she gets better soon. Let's listen to my 4th best song of the year. And I know some people might be surprised that I haven't picked King, but this was the song that just really pulled everything together for me in terms of lyric, in terms of vocals, and in terms of like making it slightly more disco pop aesthetic, just really where I like it, you know? The lyrics in this, just like the message, the story of it, like is very, very, very real to me, you know? I was able to write my way out. Every page is empty, except the moon sailing bright against the worrying sky. So tell me where to put my love. No cracking, open up heaven. God, she really did have some of the most brilliant lyrics of the year. And it's real, it is more poppy than a lot of Florence's stuff, but it still showcases her beautiful voice. It has enough space to showcase her voice still, you know? Good balance. My arms empty, the sky's empty. There were so many songs in this album I could have chosen, like King, like Free, like Choreomania. But yeah, this one just brings everything together in terms of the concept of the album and in terms of my personal listening taste too, you know? And of course, you have to listen to the full thing with the long intro and the long outro. Otherwise, you're not a real Florence fan. And did I show restraint? Yes, that was My Love by Florence and the Machine. Florence has had a very interesting musical kind of career path in the way that she really did veer away from the sounds that made her famous. But I think it's been very much worth it to continue on the journey of her kind of artistry, not only because she manages to get more introspective and deeper and more lyrically accomplished, but also, yeah, because she manages to continue to surprise. And I think that is what is quite exciting about her. And for her in her fifth album to kind of, you know, in a very experimental album, very open-ended, very creepy, very like quiet, to have a song like this on paper doesn't necessarily work, but it fits brilliantly. I think partly because of the opening and the closing thing almost kind of gives it this sense of like place. And for me, it's a cross-section of beautiful vocals, beautiful lyric, really good production, and just poppy enough that it, you know, wets my whistle, or whatever the fuck you say. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. This is my third best song of the year. This is getting quite steamy. This, yeah, I was going to say what it was again. This one had a very unexpected impact on me. I'd never heard of this artist before, but when I did, I was pleasantly surprised. And this was the song that really just solidified it for me, you know? There are so many songs from Rosalia that are so big, but for me, this one is a perfect combination of intimacy and like gentleness, and then like real powerful emotion. Oh, the control is just so insane, and her voice is so dry. It's so beautiful and so personal, so intimate, but there's still a lot of kind of the electronic kind of glitchy stuff that she loves, you know, and makes it fit the album. It's really wonderful to hear something that could have been just a piano ballad produced in such a cool way, you know, that really adds to the story, to the point where I'm crying and it's all in Spanish and I don't know what it's about. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. This song is just beautiful. Oh, every time. It just gives me chills all over my body. It's just so powerful. Yeah. And then to find out from all your comments that it's about her singing to her nephew that she can't visit because she's over the other side of the world. It's just heartbreaking. And really like puts into words and into music a feeling that a lot of us were going through in that time.
Bon dia, amor meu. Pensar.
This is her grandmother talking about the importance of family, right?
La familia es tan importante, cariño.
There's just something so special about how that song, it's so just insanely beautiful, but it earns that beauty by making it so quiet, so intimate, so controlled, and beautifully, wonderfully sung, and not really blowing it out until that second version of the chorus. The first version of the chorus is like, you think it's going to go there, and then she holds it back, and it's that real control beauty there. And then the second version, she surprises you and goes full out, and it's just insanely powerful. And it means that, like, when you listen to the song for the 100th time, you're still brought along that journey. I think there's something to be said about a song that can move you to tears when you don't even know what the lyrics are. Insane. Yeah, it just really reminded me like how wonderful that album was, and how that song was just so beautiful. So we're getting right down there now. This is my second best song of the year. Now, this one was really, really bloody difficult, and I'm still not 100% sure, but I knew this artist, for me, had to have a song in this top 10, but it was quite difficult to choose because this album was a mood. I've listened to this album in full more than I've listened to others, and so therefore it was very difficult to choose which one of those songs, when they all are part of one mood, which one of those songs should be the song that is part of my top 10. But I picked this one because it not only resonated with me and fit in terms of the album, but it really caught the attention of the public. As soon as it starts, you know what it is. I have this thing where I get older, but just never wiser. When my depression works the graveyard shift, all of the people. Such a good lyric. They come with prices and crises, I end up in crisis. I always put that line up. It's me. Hi. Where this song really excels is that it has amazing, beautiful lyrics that are very personal, but also is not afraid to have a bit of humour, which makes it stand out, you know? It really, for me, is like, having got to know Taylor, it really does speak to her personality. Slide. I love it. It's kind of serious and funny at the same time. It's a very interesting tightrope to walk, but she nails it. Yeah. And this song has grown on me too. Like, the first time I heard it, I was like, this is cool, but like, it's the one that stuck with me the most, I think. And I almost put Karma in this slot, but I think this one ultimately had more resonance with more people, you know? It's me. Hi. Must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. And this performance of this line, it's so good. It's funny, but also devastating. Like, does everybody agree? It's me. Hi. For the anti-hero. And the camera stopped filming on the last note. So if you somehow have been living under a rock, that's Anti-Hero by Taylor Swift. That one does bring the concept of midnights really to a head for me. Intrusive thoughts, seeing yourself in the absolute worst light, comes around in the middle of the night when you can't sleep, when you're rolling around overthinking. These are the kinds of intrusive thoughts that come to you. And so it brings it all together so cleverly. But yeah, the thing that makes it stand out is that it's not like dark and dingy, but actually has a sense of humour and a sense of self-deprecation to it, whilst simultaneously being pretty dark and actually really quite accurately describing these dark thoughts, you know? On top of that, it has some of the best lyrics of the year. Not only good for like wordplay, when my depression works the graveyard shift, all of the people I've ghosted stand there in the room, so clever. But also in the way that, like, some of the lyrics are specifically put in there to kind of have this kind of sense of I'm the problem, kind of like, sorry. It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's self-deprecating. It's very, very pinpoint, and she smashed it. It's really, really clever. Before I reveal my number one song of 2022, if you haven't yet subscribed, then make sure to do so. You've obviously been liking the video, so there you go, click on it. And also make sure to go back and check out my initial reactions to these songs. They're all on the channel. And yeah, if you do want to support me even further, then you can do over on Patreon. Make sure to come back next week to the channel, where I will be reviewing the albums of the year using an album tier list system, which is going to be drama. On to my number one song of the year. So this song, when I first heard it, I actually was a bit like not sure what to think. I remember thinking, what? This is interesting, but I'm not sure what's happening. I don't get it. And then at some point, I think it was maybe on listen 2 or listen 3, it just clicked. and I was like, oh shit, this is insane. This is so good. It brings together lyric, production, real brilliant pop, danceability, cool, funny moments, takes the piss out of itself, but also is talking about quite a serious issue, and really had the biggest impact on me throughout the year. So let's go. Honestly, slay. Let's go, girls. So good. I just love it. Saw a poster on the corner opposite the motel. Turns out I'm going to hell if I keep on being myself. Don't know what I did, but they seem pretty mad about it. God hates us. Alright then, buckle up, put on, we're riding. It's just everything, this song. Ready for the night. This hell is better with you. Cause the devil's wearing Prada and loves a little drama. Hell is better with you. It's just so catchy and so fun and so silly, but like really resonates with me very specifically as a gay man as well. And this line is maybe the best line of the year. What they did to Britney, to Lady Di and Whitney. It's just iconic behaviour. Satan's looking thirsty. The afterlife. Wow, that's hard. And as much as like Phantom, which is obviously the other Rina song that featured here, was a huge emotional cathartic kind of big moment, this song was just so special and so unique. It was really just the beginning of what ended up being such a special bunch of songs to me. Like this album and this artist have such a special place in my heart now, and I think this was the moment that I realised that I was a fan of Rina and now I'm a stan. You know, we're going straight to hell. And it's a real crowd pleasing song as well, like what I was saying about it connecting with loads of people. Like that's what this song represents to me, you know. It really was a moment, you know. It's better with you, only better with you. Everything. But it's kind of spinning trauma into comedy, because that is such a big part of healing from stuff like this, about not letting it have power over you. It can be extremely traumatizing to see a poster on a wall that says you're going to hell because you're LGBT, and to kind of take what could be damaging and what has been damaging for millions of people, especially now recording this just after the weekend of the atrocities in Colorado. It's an extremely traumatizing thing. It's an extremely real thing still, but a way to cope with that emotionally, and the way that humans can cope with things like this, is finding humor and not letting it have power over you by finding that humor, you know? And I think that's what Rina is doing in this song. She's saying, if this is true and we're all going to hell, then at least I'll be surrounded by the absolute best people, you know? And so it is a celebration of the queer community in the face of atrocity, and finding power in the face of hate. And so it manages to have such a potent, powerful message alongside being a really fun song. On top of that, like, it has iconic moments and lyrics that are really just like really memorable. Musically, it is so interesting. Like the way in which it changes key between the verse and the chorus and stuff is so unlike pop music around at the moment. And the fact that she did that in a lead single, I think, is like really shows you what Rina is about. She's about taking pop and doing something different with it. Yeah, it's recognizable. It's like she has her references on her sleeve, but she's taking it somewhere different. She's taking it somewhere interesting, and she's taking it somewhere very powerful and very real and very personal to her. Yeah, I adore her. I could sit here all night talking about Rina Sawayama. Oh yeah, that was Rina Sawayama's This Hell, if I didn't say that. I know, like, it's a slightly alternative best song of the year, but Rina has been such a big part of this year for me, so, you know, it had to be. Right, there you go. They're my top 10 songs of the year. I would be absolutely fascinated to see what your top 10 songs of the year are. Make sure to comment them down below in the comment section. And also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what my choices were and whether you like that or not. Yeah, so that's what I love about this channel, is like the way in which people share their love of music with me as I share my love of music with them. Before we sign off, a special thank you to my patrons. Those guys are supporting me on Patreon Patreon. They get a whole bunch of cool benefits depending on whatever tiers they're on, but one of them is getting their name featured in the video. So here you go. If you want to join Patreon and you want to support me and get all the extra benefits like requesting songs and like getting videos early, you can do so by clicking on the link on screen. Yeah, cool. Right, thank you so much, guys. I'm going to be putting a lot of my Patreon request videos up so that I don't have to film as much in December, so I can have a bit of time off filming. Actually, before that, I've got my album tier list next week. Yeah, cool. I will see you then. Bye.